Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk Leeds with me, GWFM. I'm joined once again by my esteemed co-host, Mattinho Got Game. Say hello, mate.
What's up, guys?
And yeah, today we're going to be doing a little bit of a preview to the Hull City game following our very dramatic last two games against Aston Villa and Blackburn Rovers. But obviously, before we get into that, I just want to say, which I should have said right at the beginning, I hope you've all had a very good Christmas. As you can probably tell, my voice is a bit shite at the minute. I've not been able to do any sort of recording or streaming or anything. It's been painful because I haven't been able to do anything. But it sounds like you might be coming down with something as well, Martinho.
Well, back end of something. I kind of came down with it like day before Christmas Eve. Woke up, got a bit of a sore throat, and I know it's just downhill from there. So spent all Christmas Day, just in bed pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
it's shite. I mean, for me, I felt alright. It's just my voice. It was about two or 3 days before the Aston Villa game, and obviously when we were 2-0 down, I was watching it, and obviously get the late winner, and I was proper screaming me office there like, oh fucking hell, my voice is going to be absolutely shot to shit, and so it was as well. But anyway, going into the actual subjects at hand, we'll start off with the two games. Starting off with the Villa game, as mentioned, the 3-2 win, last minute winner, thanks to Kemar Roof. But otherwise, what are your thoughts on the overall performance, Martinho?
well, before the Blackburn game, you probably say, well, it doesn't really get much better than that. But as we know, it did, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But overall, pretty good performance. We knew it was going to be a difficult game, one of the tougher games we had away from home.
Yeah.
Villa have obviously been free scoring recently. We didn't start well, admittedly, and that's it's a little bit disappointing. There were a couple of defensive. I think the first goal was for them was quite lucky because that touch could have gone pretty much anywhere. The second goal was it was good though. It was a good goal, but
we gave the ball cheaply, wasn't it, Harrison?
Yeah, but I think the problem with Villa was they were trying to play it the same way we do, that high intensity, high press sort of thing. But because they've had a new manager come in, I don't think they started off with that philosophy and started at this point. We've been drilled with that sort of stuff from day one. So we know what we're doing. And it sort of told the first 15, 20 minutes of the first half, maybe the first 10 minutes of the second half, they were the better team. They came at us, but then they started to get legger. Then they started to we came back into the game a bit more. And just, the way we came back was brilliant. Jack Clark getting on the score sheet, fantastic, brilliant goal. Sort of memories of Milner getting his first goal against Chelsea. Sort of memories of that sort of, young dad coming, I think he stepped off the bench that day and he got the goal. Then obviously Pontus Jansson, absolute tank monster. The man is a tank. Popped up, brilliant equaliser, and then we kept plugging away. And I think I said it to you on Twitter, didn't I? We were talking over Twitter, and I said there's another chance in this game.
You did, yeah. I didn't actually see that afterwards, actually. Because I was too hyped up, watching it and biting my nails and stuff. And I remember seeing that. Yeah, go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, but like I said, you could see Villa were tiring, and that header was just so tired. I think that sort of cross comes in after half hour or 50 minutes or 60 minutes, it gets dealt with. But then they were just absolutely knackered, tired legs, tired minds. But taking nothing away from Kemar Roof, there's still plenty to do in that situation, and he buried it. It was a brilliant finish.
Left-footed as well. Left-footed volley, half volley, whatever you want to call it. Not an easy technique on a weak foot.
He can do it all, can't he, really, at the minute? He can do it with his right foot, he can do his left foot, he can do it with his head. Brilliant result. Overall, good comeback, good 3 points, I'd say. Probably things we need to work on still, but again, we're missing quite a few players. We're playing with a central defender and a midfielder as our centre-back pairing at the minute.
Yeah.
So that is going to, against lesser teams, you could probably get away with it, but against those big teams, mistakes, you're going to get punished for them. And I think we did on a couple of occasions. And I think the overall, it's the best result we could have hoped for. It's a win. It's 3 points. But yeah, like I said, overall, very good performance, and just the manner of the way we came back. 2-0 down. At that point, how many were thinking we were going to come back and win 3-2. I know one of our other co-hosts who hasn't been around for a while, Mike, actually, I think at halftime put a bet on Leeds to win 3-2.
I think I saw that actually. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won some money, did he?
And he won I think he won like 94 quid off a fiver or something like that. But
yeah,
like I said, overall, brilliant game. Definitely one we'll remember for quite a while.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. Pretty much hitting the nail on the head on everything you've said there. There's one thing you have missed, and it's very key in terms of omens and things like that. It meant we were top at Christmas, and every team that's been top at Christmas in the last 10 years has at least finished second and gone up automatically. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to be the first team in 11 years to bottle
I'm not even thinking about it. Because if you start thinking about it and banking on that, you can't bank on that. You know, hope isn't a tactic. But it's not. It'd be, it's nice if it comes true, but we've just got to keep plugging away and not think, we're top at Christmas. It's fucking job done now. We don't have to worry about it. Because we know where that'll lead.
Exactly. I mean, the other thing I will say before we move on to the next game is I saw a stat that we have not won the final game of the year since 2009 against Stockport County. I mean, look where Stockport County are now in the Vanarama National League North. So, but even so, that's 9 years since we've actually, and obviously that would have been League One, wouldn't it? Yeah. So. Yeah. Another stat I've just literally seen about 5 minutes before recording, because we're doing this on the Friday night. Apologies, excuse me, because my voice is still obviously knackered. Is that the record for most wins in a row in the Championship, I believe, is 10. That was Reading on there. Did they get over 100 points? I think it was season, 102 points or something like that. Back in 2007, I think it was. But yeah, apparently we're on 7. But apparently any team that wins, I think it's another one that wins 8. I'm sure that's right. I could be wrong. It could be 10 in fact. But every team that's won 8 has also gone up automatically as well. So all the omens, just saying, hopefully when it comes to fruition.
Also, I think if we win this 8th game in a row, it'll be our best winning streak since before World War II.
Really?
I think so. Yes, that's from what I read. Yeah, it'd be so. That's a Loman, but again,
I want you to clarify something if you can, Matt, because I was talking to a couple of lads who play football on like a Saturday morning sort of thing. We had a bit of a game on Thursday and had a bit of a drink afterwards, and we're talking to them and a couple of Leeds fans and review, and just asking because I saw that obviously we won 7 in a row, and I say it's our best. It's best we've done in God knows how many years or whatever. But I thought when we had the minus 15 points, didn't we win the first 5 games, get to 0, then win and numerous other games after that straight away to get top of the league, and then that's when we finally lost? I could have, on this, we must have drawn one or two maybe. But I do remember checking that. I could be wrong, and may have misread it. But I'm thinking, sure, that's not right. I mean, there'll be a draw or something in between. But I do remember us going on and getting top of the league in that first season in League One. But
I'm looking at that. I'm just going to have a quick looky look at that just to make sure. Go away, you! Sorry, the cat annoying me now.
In the meantime, I'll just I'll take this opportunity just to say, did you manage to get anything Leeds related for Christmas or whatever? But or even if you're one of the opposition fans, did you get Villa, Blackburn, or up and coming Hull City tops or whatever? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to fill a bit of dead space here, so that I have to go back and do any editing because I'm a lazy motherfucker. But anyway, no, it just takes a lot more time to edit and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get this out before the game tomorrow against Hull City. But yeah, moving. I'll just quickly touch on a few things while you're checking that out. Is Samuel Saiz going? I don't know if you can multitask, Matt, but what were your thoughts on him? It had been confirmed. I think we were talking about it last time.
Well, we kind of all knew it was coming. Really, it kind of happened. Things that happened that quickly rarely kind of fall away at the wayside. Like, oh well, no, I'm not sure about it. He wants to go. There's no point in keeping him because his heart's not going to be in it. So if he wants to go, that's fine. I think we do have to replace him.
That was my next question. Yeah.
We'll probably, like I said, we're going to be talking about that in a minute. But Yeah, you know, he's. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a huge miss because he hasn't been brilliant. He's had a few. You know, he had a purple patch when he first started. He kind of dropped off after the whole Spitgate incident against whoever the hell it was in the FA Cup last year.
Newport County.
That was it. And then from there, it's just he's not really been the same player. We thought maybe Bielsa would get the best out of him. In the first few games, you sort of thought, yeah, maybe he's getting in there, but then he sort of dropped away again. There was talk of him maybe putting on weight, and that's why he wasn't playing, drop of form, and so on and so forth. So I don't think it's going to be a massive miss. I think we do need to bring someone else in because how long we're going to be waiting to see Izzy Brown, we don't know. But yeah, it did well for us the time he was here. But if he doesn't want to be here, there's no point in keeping him. And like I said, I don't think it'll be a huge miss for us.
Yeah, fair news. Just briefly, have you got any closer to the answer? If not, I'll just put it to the people leaving comments.
Yeah, I've got the answer.
Never mind.
Yeah. We won 7 straight, and then we drew.
That's.
I'm just trying to figure out who it was we drew against. Gillingham.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait.
Was it 1-1?
Yes.
Yeah, bastard. Yeah, I remember that. I think we were winning as well. Oh, we might. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, moving on. We'll move on now to the Blackburn Rovers game, which obviously finished in fairly similar circumstances. A late winner, not quite as late as Norwich City's, equalisers and what have you, and how many games they get 98 minutes. But yeah, it was, regardless, 3-2, clutch victory from the jaws of defeat, and yeah, God, I were ecstatic again. I wasn't able to jump around everything. I went round at around my brother's house, and we were sat having Christmas dinner, Boxing Day dinner, and I just had it on just outside of me. I shouldn't have really done it. They're calling me rude and all sorts, but I didn't give a shit. But yeah, what was your take on it, Matt?
In spells we were good, but then there were also spells where we weren't so good. I think we started pretty well. From my memory's kind of shot because I was like kind of pretty ill at that point.
You said, didn't you?
We took the lead, didn't we? We did take the lead.
Yeah. We I can't remember. It was an own goal.
Own goal, that was it.
Derek Williams, I think he was.
Yeah, it was an own goal, Harrison Cross. And it was kind of a bit of relief at that point because
we'd had a lot of pressure, didn't we? But not really done much with it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second half, it was a silly mistake. I'll say it's a silly mistake, but I don't think it should have been a penalty.
Yeah, they said it was a bit dubious, didn't they? But
not necessarily dubious. If it's more to do with when the penalty was called. If the referee saw the foul, he should have blown straight away. But he allowed the advantage to go on. They had a shot. The shot was saved. It went out for a corner. That's
That's right.
And the referee can wait and see, but it's kind of like I'll wait and see, and then whatever the result is there, it resulted in a corner. They kind of had the advantage. So I don't know. I looked at the rule, and I don't know. I don't think it should have been a penalty. I think unless he was going to call it straight away, it was definitely a foul, but he didn't call it straight away. He played the advantage, and the advantage it just kind of got to the. It's kind of like. If this goes in, then it's fine. If it doesn't, I'm going to drag it back for a penalty, which I don't think you can do. I think you have to.
Yeah, sorry. It was a little bit. Yeah, I must admit. I mean, I did actually miss the penalty live, and obviously, I was watching on a stream, and I think they were streaming the red button, and red button doesn't show replays, so I did actually miss the actual penalty. I just heard about it afterwards. That was what it was based on, and people said it was a penalty. One or two said, well, it shouldn't have been because they like you say. The play basically played on and had a shot, so they had the chance. But yeah, it basically were a bit mind-boggling, really, because I just looked down and like, shit, they've got a penalty, and obviously they scored it. And then what did he make to the goal and put us 2-1 behind? Because again, I've not seen any replays. It looks to me like Biscuit Rhys Bailey returned.
Well. The one thing I'll say is it shouldn't have been a free kick. It was a fucking dive. There was no contact made at all. So we've been had there. I haven't been able to see a replay of it. The angle, the normal television angle isn't a great angle to see it, but from the looks of it, it looks like he possibly should have saved it. I think maybe he kind of went down to catch it and it just slipped through his fingers. So yeah. disappointing. Another mistake, not going to help him confidence-wise, because you know how our fans get like, they'll get on his back and so on and so forth. And at that point, you sort of, you're kind of fearing the worst, but then
not half.
Straight up the other end.
Did you see Janssen getting on at ref?
Yeah.
Like, come on, get back over to the side.
Stop fucking talking to this, like, fucking go over here. I think that was after the equaliser, wasn't it?
No, I want to say no. It was our kick-off. It was our kick-off. Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah, because they were all returning from other end of the pitch, and it's like we were waiting to kick off. We couldn't kick off because they were away. And just briefly as well, the reason why I think it was a howler, and based on no replays, is the reaction. I can't remember who it was, but someone was stood like inside the goal, and the way that they angrily kicked the ball again into back at net. Just to me, if it's a good free kick, you think, well, fair. If it's a free kick, it's got it caught in top corner. But if it's something where it should have been saved, and people get even more angry, don't they? Get even more pumped, if you like it, well, in a negative way. So. But then what happened there, Matt? I want to explain what happened after that then, as soon as we kicked off.
Straight up the other end. It says goal mouth scramble. It was given as a goal, obviously. But I don't know, from the angle I saw it, it could have been either, I think it would have been Jack Clark's shot or Kemar Roofe's shot. They both looked like they could have just about crossed the line. But obviously, I think we've got goal line technology in the Championship.
I think it's it buzzed in his watch.
He buzzed his watch
because you saw him. He watched it. He kind of got cleared away, and after it got cleared away, he did a exaggerated point to the centre circle. So it would, for me, that meant I think it was Roof's, and that's who I think was credited with the goal anyway. So. I know what you mean. It was very much like both very close as to which one actually crossed the line. But I think on the length of time, they're saying it's supposed to buzz pretty much straight away once it crosses the line, because there's something in the ball these days, isn't there? Basically, he gave it as soon as Roof's shot came in. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah, and then you thought. Everybody at that point thinking, we've got away with this, but it's still a little bit disappointing because we're thinking at least Norwich are losing. Opportunity, yeah, we're going to lose an opportunity to gain a bit of ground, and then just again, pretty much just straight at him, Pablo Hernandez, brilliant cross, and Kemar Roofe just finds that little hole between the centre halves, and
is it not for the first time?
He doesn't get enough credit for being. He's a good header of the ball, a really good header of the ball. He's kind of deceptive, almost like Michael Owen was a pretty good header of the ball, and he's not a big guy, Michael Owen. And neither is Kemar Roofe. He's not he's not a big strapping guy. He's not a Chris Wood. And he's got a fair amount of headers, but the cross was fantastic. Roofe just had to direct it pretty much. There's plenty of pace on the ball, and then just cue absolute madness everywhere.
Janssen leading the charge.
Absolutely everywhere. Pontus Janssen, absolute nutter, and we love him for it. We really do.
Did you see Berardi?
And then Berardi somehow just came out of nowhere and just. It was
behind. The thing that got me, it was really comical, is you see on the TV screens, you see Pontus Janssen running across all the fans, throwing his arms around, limbs everywhere, sort of thing, and then you get see Bielsa going, "Get back to middle. Come on, so he sounds like get back to middle," and then behind him, all the coaching staff behind, are all going crazy. Is that Salim Lamrani, his translator, getting lifted by one arm by Berardi, just celebrating? Fucking brilliant. And up getting back in with the rest of them, but oh god, the scenes, man, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And the other awesome thing I saw on Twitter, I think it was a comment from Pontus Janssen on the Leeds page where, it was when he had Graham and another player coming towards him. Cruyff turned the both of them.
Oh,
pretty much out of their boots. And he said something along the lines of,
don't show Bielsa.
don't show Bielsa because he'll have me running for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But just absolutely brilliant. Honestly, though, I mean, it shouldn't have gotten to that point.
No.
As amazing it was, and as long as it'll stay in the memory, we should be putting teams like Blackburn to bed nice and early. That first goal, we thought, it's an own goal, but we've got the lead now. And I think we maybe just took our foot off the pedal. We didn't start as quickly with, the silly penalty, and we can say it wasn't a penalty, it wasn't, blah, blah, blah. But eventually, the ref gave it. So, yeah, I'm hoping that for the next game against Hull City, it's going to be a little bit more
straightforward.
A little bit more straightforward.
We'll get into
I don't
shortly.
think I can, I'm not an old guy, but I don't think I think my heart is about 80 years old after those 2 games, because I just can't take this kind of stuff anymore. So I just want a nice, simple, just win, finish the year off right. But I don't know. We might not get that. It might just be, again, another 95th minute pandemonium sort of game, if you know what I mean.
Hopefully we don't let us leave it that late. But I will tell you this about Hull City. We're going to move into the Hull City preview now. They are currently second in the form table, behind us clearly, obviously, because we've won like 7 on the bounce. But based on the last 6 games, Hull have won 4 of those and drawn 2. So they're unbeaten as well. So it could be quite a tricky game, this. Trickier than what the table would suggest anyway. I don't know what you're looking to, what you're going to be expecting, Matt.
Well, it's going to be a tricky one. I mean, they've beaten some half-decent sides in that run. Some sides that were, who were doing a little bit better than those. They beat. Well, let's start off with when their unbeaten run supposedly started. So 0-0 against Norwich.
Yeah, fair dues.
So that's a pretty big point for them, considering they get an extra 10 minutes every game. Norwich City, then they beat QPR away from home,
and they were flying at the time, I think.
That was a good result. Then they drew 2-2 with Millwall. Probably thinking, oh well, they'll probably drop points there. Millwall's not an easy place for anyone to go to.
Not away.
And then 2-0 against Brentford. Probably expected. I think that was about the time they were still kind of coping with the new manager. Or I'll try to replace the new manager. I don't quite remember when. Was it Dean Smith who left?
Yeah, Dean Smith went to Villa, didn't he?
And then they beat Swansea at home 3-2. Swansea, they have their moments.
Swansea have been disappointing, haven't they, this season?
Yeah.
Like 13th or something. I can't remember. I looked for a bit, but yeah, I tried to keep an eye on Swansea just because of the fact that they were a newly promoted side. Newly relegated side. But yeah, it's just I'm just having a quick look now on the old dog and bone. Don't know why I'm calling that. I'm not a Cockney. I wrote like that. But yeah, they're 13th. I called it. Yeah, 13th. Yeah. I mean, they're what 7 points off playoffs, but you still expect them to beat like a team like Hull City. Really, no disrespect in terms of Hull City have been like strugglers last couple of years in this division. Well, last year in this division, and Swansea came down from the division above, so you would expect them to to beat them, really. So, who did they play after that then, Matt?
Preston away.
Right.
And
Preston 17th.
2-1 win. So fairly straightforward, I'd say. Left it sort of late 80th minute. It was Irvine got both the goals. One either side of the interval.
He was like Burton's best player, wasn't he, last season, I think, if I remember right.
I'm not too sure. Jackson
Irvine, he's Australian, yeah. Knowledge.
Good day, mate.
Thing. Look at the screen instead of the camera. Anyway, sorry, mate. So, what do you expect? What kind of game do you expect then? Do you think, like you said, like maybe you think it's going to be tight, or do you think we'll still be too good for him, essentially?
I think it'll be a tricky game. I'm not expecting it to be a walk-off. You never know. They might show up and they just they're not into it. Teams have off days. We've had an off day. West Brom, for instance.
West Brom,
but I think it's going to be a tough game. But I do think we're going to be able to edge it. I think as much hard work as went in for the last 2 wins against Villa and Blackburn, the amount of confidence and morale we've gained from those games as well should be able to give us a boost. But they're not exactly on a in the doldrums morale-wise. They're obviously
flying.
The second in the form table. So I think we do have to stamp our authority on the game early. if we can get a goal within the first 20, 25 minutes and just, keep things tight at the back, I think we'll be in good stead. But at the moment, you can't really predict what's going to happen in the Leeds game because
No,
it's
you
just
can't.
absolute. We go 2-0 down, we win 3-2. We're 2-1 down with 91
5
minutes
minutes
on
to
the
go.
clock. We win 3-2. Yeah. So you don't really know what's going to happen. But I think we'll definitely win. But I think it's going to be a tricky one. However, I would just like a nice, just quiet 2-0 win. Just very
2-0
simple
win.
and straightforward. I don't think we'll get it, but I'm going to go. If I had to pick a scoreline, I'm not going to say 2-0. I would like a 2-0, just like nice and straightforward.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be
3-2 again.
Possibly 3-2, or possibly. I'm thinking more on the lines of 2-1. I think it'll be. Yeah, and I think I think Calvin Phillips is due a goal.
Well, I can't see him getting goals if he's playing at centre back. That's the thing. It's if he's in midfield, there's always a chance he could end up at edge area and smash one in top corner. But personally, I disagree. I don't think he's not like a force in the penalty area, so he's not going to go up for corners and score a header for me. Watch me eat my words. I hope I do, but I just think way that he's played at minute, he's going to be the least likely to score at this moment in time from anyone in the team, apart from goalkeeper, of course.
True, but there is the possibility he doesn't play centre half. I was a little bit bemused when Ayling came back because I thought, okay, you put Shackleton at right back, you put Ayling in the centre with Janssen, you push Phillips back forward into his regular
makes no
position.
sense back forwards.
Or you push him forward into his
back into middle.
Where he's supposed to be. But they didn't.
No, they implemented Harrison instead, didn't they? That's what I thought. I thought they'd have just put Forshaw in Saiz's role, or Click in Saiz's role, and move Forshaw into Click's role. That's what I thought they might have done. But I suppose it might have upset the balance a bit too much. I don't know.
Possibly, but if I was in charge, I would prefer Ayling in there to Phillips because Ayling's played centre half. I think he might have played centre half once or twice for us this season already.
He has, yeah.
As well, and I said, it would just give you the opportunity to put Phillips back in that midfield role where he's been really excelling.
Yeah.
He's not been horrible in at centre back, but
he's been good. I think he's not been very good or excellent. He's been good.
He's been adequate. Adequate in that situation. Yeah, he's done a job. He's not been brilliant. He's not been setting the world alight as a centre half. Not like Pontus Jansson has, who's just been absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
but I think
for him.
I think he'll do more good in that role in the midfield. Personally, where he can just pull the strings and that'll allow. I think we've seen the drop off in form from Forshaw because he's playing in that role that Phillips used to be in. When we saw him in good form, he was further up the pitch. He was next to Click, and he was able to influence things a bit further up. And I think that's where he's a bit more comfortable. So we could see that. We could see a big change in formation. The last two games have taken a bit out of his. Admittedly, it's the Christmas period; they come thick and fast. So we could see some changes, but I don't know. At this point, who knows? We don't know. We'll have to find out tomorrow, I guess, or today, depending on when you're watching this, because this will be coming out on the Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to get it uploaded. I think.
I just do the talky, but he does all the hard work.
Yeah, do all the hard. It's a pain in the dick, actually. To be fair, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I might just get it uploaded overnight and then it'll be sorted. But anyway, moving on. From my point of view, the only thing the one thing that is interesting, went after Jared Bowen, apparently, who plays for Hull, incidentally. He's been in fine form recently. I think he's got 8 goals and 3 assists, which doesn't sound great, but apparently he's in a rich vein of form at this moment in time, as far as I'm aware. He keeps scoring goals, and he's definitely the danger man. But apparently Premier League teams are in for him, so I don't know how true the link is. In terms of my prediction, I think I can see it being 1-0 again. Another tight game. We're beating 1-0 at their place. I can see it being 1-0 again. Been a little bit nervy towards end. 1-0 to us, that is, of course. But it's definitely going to be harder than what it looks on paper, in my opinion. But hopefully I'm wrong and we destroy them. But records and stuff like that, we don't see it at this moment in time. We're not doing things easy. So I can see it being a very tight affair. 1-0 is what I think. And just a little bit of a special mention for Pablo Hernandez. I mean, top assist maker, joint with Lionel Messi in the world. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it's something like that. Did you check it out before, Matt?
I looked at the stats for the Championship and La Liga, and they're both on 10. Messi's got 10 in 15, and Hernandez has got 10 in 17. But Hernandez is, you'd probably say, he's clearly top of the form chart in the Championship. But the nearest guys are Joe Lolly of Nottingham Forest, but and what's his name, Lucas.
Jukovic.
Oh, that's it, Jukovic. They're both on 7 apiece. All the next 5 guys below him have all played 24 games this season, and Pablo Hernandez has played in 17 because he had that spell out with injury. So he's got 10 assists. So he's just
absolutely immense.
Perfect for Bielsa to come in, and it's not like he was bad last season.
No, he was like the best of a bad bunch, wasn't he, last season?
Yeah, and now he just seems to be getting better with age, doesn't he? It's
like a fine wine.
I'm excited to see what he can do next season in the Premier League. Not jinxing it.
You said, don't count your chickens yet, and you're saying stuff like that.
Shut up. He's been brilliant. He's been definitely our most creative player. I
mean, I saw a stat. Sorry, mate. I saw a stat. Someone put something on the last 10 games. He contributed either an assist or a goal, at least one assist or a goal in 8 of the last 10 games. I mean that's some going in it, and for especially, let's say, he's 33-year-old and he's just running around like he's chuffing 23. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so definitely still got the engine, which I don't know. Maybe he didn't have that in his youth. Maybe he can get by with just a blast of pace. But he's superb over those first 2 or 3 yards. When it comes to beating players, he's absolutely brilliant. It's almost the exact opposite of what Alioski is. Basically, you see Alioski, he tried to put it past and he just muscled off the ball and he loses it and so on and so forth.
But to be fair to Alioski, I think he's done all right last 2 games.
He's done all right the last couple of games. I'm not gonna get on his back. It still annoys me when he's looking straight down the line and he still gets caught bloody offside, because that's a cardinal bloody sin for someone like me. I used to be a winger at point, and you just don't look down the bloody line. You look down the line, you shouldn't be getting caught offside. But like I said, I think he's been probably our best player this season. And, you take those assists, and he's got like 7 goals as well this season.
17 goals he's contributed.
Yeah, 17. He's handed 17 goals.
I think that's about half, isn't it? Well, half of the goals that he's had a part in. Because we scored like 34 goals. I think I saw a stat was scored about 34 goals. I don't know. I could be wrong, actually. I don't know. I need to have a quick gander. But I don't tell you, just tells it goal difference. Never mind.
We scored 42 goals, so it's not far off half. Yeah.
So moving on, I suppose the transfer window's coming up. This is what the last thing we'll touch on before we call the video. Transfer window's coming up. What would you expect to happen in the transfer window?
Well, obviously we've been linked with, as you mentioned, Jared Bowen. I don't think I think we've got more chance to getting Jim Bowen, if I'm honest with you. Don't worry about the toaster. The toaster is yours.
You could have won.
Yeah. Get your bus fare home. What have we got for a bully?
Excuse me.
I don't think we're going to they're quoting 20 million. We ain't got 20 million.
No.
We ain't got 10 million. They won't loan us. They won't loan him to us. There's no chance of that happening.
No.
I think we could go out and get a couple of players. I think not to get on Bailey Peacock-Farrell's back. He doesn't know when people jump on his back, because he's a young guy and he's already been playing first team football for just under a year consistently. So he's still sort of learning as he goes. I think having someone around the squad who's, an experienced goalkeeper who can, maybe impart some wisdom on him, coaches can help, but also other players can help and show them. I think that would be good. I've read that we're going to have to we're not going to get Darlow on loan. They want straight cash.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Or the Benitez has said the only keeper they're letting go is Rob Elliott, and we're not in for him. So if we can't get him, my ideal signing would probably be Fraser Forster from Southampton. How much that's going to cost, I don't know. But they've got that could be a pretty penny. But
apparently he's their highest earner as well by all accounts. Been reported several times on TalkSport, I think, when they've been on about Southampton.
Yeah, or talk shite as I'm going to call them from now on, because they do talk quite a bit of it. I think maybe we do need potentially another winger, maybe. We could fill that size role, but I don't know. I think if we don't, I think the prime reason is just going to be how good Pablo Hernandez has been in creating goals. Because you can put him in that centre role, you can put him out on either the left or the right. I think we've seen him playing more centrally recently. You've had Clark and Alioski playing on either flank at times, and Hernandez just kind of buzzing around, and he's still doing the business. I think a centre half might come in handy. But again,
been asking all season.
Yeah, but at this point, you're just inclined to say, I would like to have those things, but if we don't, then I trust the Godfather. I trust the Godfather. The Godfather knows all and sees all. We trust in him. But first half of the season is one thing. The full season is another thing, and I don't want to see us getting leggy and having another sort of Gary Monk season incident where we're pretty good and we're in and around it, and then we just start dropping off because we've got no options off the bench, or people are getting tired of suspensions and so on and so forth. So potentially we could get a centre half, but again, it just depends how much money's in the pot, because apparently we had 20 million to spend, and we only spent half of that in the summer. So where's the rest of it? Where's it gone? Radizani, where's it gone? What have you done with it? You better be pumping it into buying more rights that you can't sell.
I think that's for another day, is that one. But yeah, I still think Marcelo Bielsa is taking a lot of that pot up personally. But anyway, I think that's going to be a good time as any to call it a video. So we'll go ahead with the pimpage. So it's been a little while, I suppose, a couple of weeks. What do you do, Matt?
Mainly sim racing, also Football Manager with a Billericay save. Not done a whole lot recently because obviously I've been ill and just kind of other bits and bobs in the background. But I'm
Christmas.
Yeah, other bits and bobs in the background. Well, it wasn't really Christmas to me, it was more like Flumas. So I just laying around, just nose running, coughing, sleeping excessively. There's no real difference to any other day, but except without the horrible feeling of being sick. He's just napping. But yeah, that's what I do. Sim racing. I've got some stuff planned, some new stuff in the new year. So if you're into either of that stuff, then come check my channel out. It's fun. It's fun. I have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, and obviously, with regards to myself, obviously, Twitch has been a little bit on the back burner while my voice has come back, and as you can probably tell, it's probably got progressively worse. At worst, that English is impeccable. Got progressively worse. So, like I say, it's just a case of I'm hoping to be back the day of this video release that evening, about 8-9 o'clock. I'm hoping. I'm trying to get back into it because it's like you get withdrawal symptoms. It's awful. It's kind of it's weird. Like people think, oh, Twitch is no, it's silly or whatever. But it is. It's like a bit like a bug. You want to do it, but it's like with me that it's like, holy shit, like this talking like I said it was like I was like the love child of Beppe Di Marco and Sean Dyche. So it was not pretty hearing, I would guess. So but anyway, yeah. So I suppose we'll be back for the review. I guess it might be after. It depends. It could be after the Nottingham Forest game, but we'll see. Either after the Hull or after the Nottingham Forest game, we'll be back. But until next time, obviously don't forget to leave your predictions in the comments below. But until next time, we'll see you then. Bye bye.